Hey guys, it's Mr. Prime Time, half man, half amazing. It's Lukadinho, the Sweet Prince. Now I'm here to do a little bit of an AMA or something. I think that's what it's called. I don't really know. My agent, MrLuke, set it up. Now I think a lot of you guys have some questions for me, I believe. So I'm just gonna go ahead and answer a few of them. I'm not sure what to expect. Okay, so the first one I'm going to be asking you it's from Bailey Stevens, and he says, "Are you going to any major club next season?" Well, I can't disclose anything at the moment. It's between me and my agent. The clubs that are interested in me, Real Madrid and a few of those clubs interested in me, obviously. I'm not really sure any specific clubs, but I think I can assure you that I will be moving to a major club. I think my worth I checked on Transfer Market was, I don't know, something about 30 million, something like that. So I'm expecting a club to break the bank for me. I think I'm worth it, and I think I've shown enough to say that I am the best player in the world, or I will be the best player in the world. One of the two. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what club. I would go to any top club pretty much, but except for Man United. But someone put an offer for me. Next question is from Emma Bender, and he asks, "Who would you consider your rival to be?" Well, that's actually a really good question. Kudos to you, Ember Bender. My rival, I'm not really sure who my rival would be, because Raphael, I don't like Raphael, but I wouldn't classify him as a rival per se, just due to the fact that he doesn't really score many goals. So I suppose you need a rival. Rivalry needs to be competitive and that sort of stuff, and it's just a mismatch between us two. So I don't know, maybe Messi, Suarez. Thomas Muller probably the biggest rivalry so far, and I can't mention any centre backs because I can't really remember any because I've just destroyed all of them that I've come up against. So that's out of the cards really. In terms of picking a centre back who's troubled me or anything, because it just hasn't happened. Next question, Roosterman14 has asked, "Why don't you leave Borussia Mönchengladbach, Lukadinho, when you don't like the manager and the team?" Fantastic question. It's not as simple as just wanting to leave. There's contract sign, that sort of stuff, and you got to wait for transfer window to open. So, it's not like I can just leave. Also, it was a good opportunity. A lot of eyes on the Bundesliga, and we were coming up against some big teams like Bayern Munich and that. So, I thought I'd put my differences aside. And, just try and play my heart out and try and get the attention on me and hopefully get a bigger move, which I think is going to happen. Mental Fuck has asked, "You ever consider taking a break from football to play rugby union? I'm sure you would rock it." Rugby union, not so much. Rugby league, well, I've thought about playing a charity game here and there, but at the same time, I'm a footballer, I'm a soccer player, and, I'm one of the best in the world. I am the best in the world. I'm not going to try and be humble. I'm the best in the world. I definitely would rock it. I've seen the NRL. I've had a few offers. Back when I was a 12-year-old, they did ask me if I wanted to make my first grade debut for the Knights, and I said, no, I don't want to play for the Knights. Why the fuck would I want to do that? And I end up, going on to try out for the soccer team, and I made my local soccer team. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? In another world, I could have been named James Hart or something. I could be playing for the Bulldogs or something. I don't know. It's something I haven't really thought about properly, but I suppose I would consider it. Maybe after my soccer career is over, but right now, not really. I haven't really considered it. Next question is from Queensland Maroons XO. "Would you play at Leicester City?" Yeah, I would play at Leicester City. They're in the Premier League. They're a nice little side. I like the colours they have, and Jamie Vardy. I'd love to be invited to his party. I'd love to join Leicester City. The next question is Joshua Henderson. "How many girls do you pull every week?" Man, it's a tough question. In Australia, a week, I'd have to say maybe 30, 40, but in Germany, I don't know German, so it is quite hard to talk to him, and I don't particularly want to talk to him that much. Maybe 20 to 30 a week. Okay, the next question is from Rogue Jelly Bean, and it's actually a very interesting question. "We all know you're an extremely good player, Lukadinho, but on everyone's mind is, are you a good player?" And he's actually spelled it Playa. He then goes on to say, "Are you looking at any women out there, Lukadinho? Perhaps a couple of celebrities have caught your eye." Mate, I'm always on the prowl. Lukadinho, always on the prowl. And my player, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily a player. I'm a good football player. But a player off the field, not so much. I think I'm a good bloke. Have any celebrities caught my eye? 100%. It is interesting because I've caught the eye of a lot of celebrities, a lot of women around the world. And, it's such a weird thing going from, not having any fame to, being the best football player in the world and, having women everywhere sort of like it's a little bit weird. It's not something I'm used to at the moment, but definitely are a few celebrities that have caught my eye. I think it's publicly known that Perry Edwards has definitely caught my eye from Little Mix, and definitely a big fan. There's a lot of others. I can name a fair few. It depends on how long we've got here. I don't think I've got enough time to list off a few, but obviously I've had a picture of Jennifer Hawkins. There were a few rumors going around. Definitely hasn't happened. There were also a few rumors with Pez. Obviously that's nothing. That's not true. Not together at the moment, anyways. But yeah, I think I saw rumors like Miley. Like, come on, I'm not with Miley Cyrus. Get out of here. Selena Gomez. Okay, like it wasn't anything serious. It was just nothing. I've said too much. There's a few questions coming up, and they are from Brendan Clark. The first one is, how many girls do you get Lukadinho? I just answered that a little bit before. We'll move on to the next one. The next question is, would you rather have Nikes for the rest of your life or Adidas for the rest of your life? Well, I was sponsored by Adidas this season. It was only a 1-year deal, and I am looking to move on to Nike. So, to answer your question, I'd rather have Nikes for the rest of my life. I think everybody should prefer Nikes for the rest of their life. Adidas, they're trash compared to Nike. So, yeah, easy question for me. And his last question is, were you too cool for school? Yes, I was too cool for school. Moving on to the next question. I'm not sure if you want to answer this one, but it's from Antony Piken, and it says, why are you a virgin? Well, Antony, it's quite simple why I'm a virgin. It's because your mother would only give me head. The next question is Jack Jones Productions, and he has asked, why haven't you left FIFA and joined the NRL? You seem like a good kicker of the footy. You'd be a perfect half for 5'8". Yeah, I've watched a lot of rugby league, and I think I'd absolutely kill it. I'd be an immortal, probably a few seasons into my career. Probably win a grand final, Origin series, everything. Dally M. I'd probably win everything in the game, and I could leave football and move to the NRL. However, there's a bit more of a challenge in football. There's more money to be made, and after a few years, I would have done everything there is to done in the NRL. So I just wanted a little bit more of a challenge. That's all. The next question is from Robrage Styles, and he has asked, do you ever see yourself moving on to management after you hang up the old boots? He's also asked Adidas or Nikes, and the last question was, would you rather be on a diet of cardboard or play for Chelsea? Well, to answer your first question, I have played Football Manager a lot, and I have mentioned it. Like, on Football Manager, I am the highest rated player you can get in terms of potential, better than Pogba and that sort of stuff, and it is something I like. I don't like to brag about it too much, but I'm going to brag anyways. Yeah, it is. I do take a lot of pride in that, and there's a lot of good players in the world, and for me to be up there with Pogba, and not up there, but above Pogba, and my boys Goetze and James Rodriguez, and a few of those guys. I'm blessed. I truly am blessed, and shout out to the Football Manager creators for making a great game. Now, in terms of actually managing myself, I think once I'm done, I'm probably just gonna. Might turn into a rapper or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But management, maybe I could do it. But at the same time, I'm not sure if I have the patience to deal with some players who I'm superior to, and even in my old age, I could probably be way better than them. So I suppose maybe I consider it, but I'm not sure exactly where I stand at the moment. I think I'll stick to Football Manager. Adidas or Nikes? Obviously, I talked about before, Nikes by far. Would I rather be on a diet of cardboard or play for Chelsea? I think that's an easy question. Chelsea. I know it's a novelty question, and I'd love to say I'd want to be on a diet of cardboard, but playing for Chelsea, it's a good opportunity, and you would help me make my move to Liverpool or another big club, so to get me another step closer. Basically, I just want to play in the Premier League. Fucking Premier League. Someone come in for me. Batburns432 has asked, the worst movie you've ever seen. He's also asked, your most embarrassing experience on the football field. He's also asked a third question in his last question. What was your childhood like? Were you a god back then? Wow, those are some really, really good questions. Now, the first one, the worst movie I've ever seen. I've got to say, I saw the Batman vs Superman, and I thought it was absolutely trash. They really should have casted me for either Superman or Batman, and I could have saved the day. I'm saving the day constantly on the field. Maybe I could have saved that movie. Who knows? Your most embarrassing experience on the field. My most embarrassing experience on the football field? Well, I can't believe I'm admitting this, but this is one time I totally had a one-on-one with the keeper, and instead of just taking it around the keeper, I decided to shoot from 30 yards out, and it went in off the post. Now, I can't believe I just admitted that. It went in off the post. I was totally aiming to just actually get it in the top right-hand corner, but it did hit the post and went in. So I was really embarrassed because I just said to everybody, it's going in the top right-hand corner, and it did hit the post and go in. So, I did end up scoring, but I mean, it wasn't that one the goal that I was hoping for. The last question, what was my childhood like? It was pretty good. I mean, obviously everybody knew I was a child prodigy from a young age, and at school everybody thought I was always the best, and I got school captain and all that sort of stuff. I was all the captain of the football team all the time. I did get player of the year every year when I was playing my junior stuff, and like I said earlier, I did nearly play first grade NRL at a very, very young age. Would have been the youngest ever player in the NRL, though I'm not sure they would have allowed it to actually happen, but it was offered to me. So, I was a god back then. To answer your question, you said, was I a god back then? Yes, I was. Wasn't a German god back then. Wasn't the A-League god back then. I was just the god. The next question is from Covey Lake, and he says, what is your favourite song, movie, and TV series? Yeah, it's such a hard question, that one, in terms of picking songs and movies and that sort of stuff. It's hard to narrow it down to just one song. I mean, if I had to give one, I'm going to give you two. I'm going to say What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction. It's it's an instant classic in my head. It's one of the best, and they're such a good band, and I can just appreciate them all except for Zayn. And also the Baha Men's Who Let the Dogs Out. I think that is a brilliant song. It's a true masterpiece. Whether it's the remix, whether it's the original, the lyrics, they're so good. They're just, I don't know, it's just so good. Like the whole Who Let the Dogs Out part. It's it's a personal favorite of mine. Favorite movie? That is a tough one. Definitely not Batman vs Superman, as I mentioned earlier. My reasons for that. Maybe High School Musical 1 or 2. I'm not sure. Maybe one of those two. TV series? I think it's got to be either Gossip Girl or Pretty Little Liars. I'd probably say Pretty Little Liars, maybe. Kevin Lake has also asked a few more questions here. He said, who do you sexually prefer, Jar Jar Binks or Raphael's mum? That's a tough one. I think I'm going to say Raphael's mum just because she is a woman and, she has a vagina. So, yeah, Jar Jar Binks, he's not really my thing. I'm not really a huge Star Wars guy. So, yeah, I'm going to say Raphael's mum. Also, it probably would piss off Raphael a lot more. His last question is, would you rather date Rolf Harris or Rebecca Wilson? Wow, that's a really good question. Rolf Harris, obviously, he's a scumbag. Rebecca Wilson, maybe even an even bigger scumbag. I'm not really sure. I'm going to go Rolf Harris. I'd like to think, Rebecca Wilson, she'd write shitty stories about me, and I don't know if I can handle that. Rolf Harris, hopefully he would drug me. I'd like to think he might drug me or something. I don't know, and I could probably sue him afterwards or something, whereas Rebecca Wilson, she'll just whinge about me more. Yeah, I'm going to go Rolf Harris. Redact's question is, what are your plans for the future? Well, if we're talking short term, I'm going to whip Raphael's ass in the MMA fight. I'm going to kick his ass and hopefully get a move to a big club in Europe, even though I already am playing in Europe. But maybe I can move to Munich or someone, I don't know, Liverpool, just some big team. That's what my plans are for the future. The next question is from Taj Bakach. He said, how many bitches have you fucked? Wow, a lot of questions like this. How many bitches have I fucked? Too many to count. It's got to be at least in the million mark. The next question is from Base Gods, and he says, how much pussy do you get on the daily? It goes a little bit back to what I talked about earlier. It's hard to say daily. I mean, especially considering I'm training all the time, traveling, but yeah, I get a little bit daily. I'm not going to put a number out there. 5, 6 at least. Jack Wright says, you should play rugby union games. Yeah, I'm not a fan of rugby union. I've talked about it earlier. I'm more of a league guy. Brock Talevsky has asked, which team would you like to go to and why? Ideally, the team I'd love to go to is Liverpool. I'm a huge fan of Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp, great manager. And I just think I'm the missing piece in the puzzle for them. They can go on to being a European powerhouse with me. The next question is from Momentarily, and he's asked, why do you think you're the best in the world, Lukadinho? Huh? Because you ain't. I am way better. Well, Momentarily, I don't think you really are the best because nobody's better than me. Therefore, I'm the best. Therefore, you're not the best. Next question, please. Why do I think I'm the best in the world? Because I clearly am the best in the world. Momentarily, you've seen me play, you've seen my mad skills. You know I'm the legend skiller. You know I'm the prince of popping in goals. You know I'm the sweet prince. You know I'm half man, half amazing. You don't get those nicknames without being a god. The German god. That's another nickname I've got. Yeah, I'm just better than you. I'm better than everybody. Quite frankly, I'm the best of all time. Next question is from Lyndon Williamson, and he said, would you ever consider what would be the greatest code switch in Australian history to join the NRL? Yeah, I've already talked about this one. I would consider it, just not right now. We have a few questions here from Vijay Raj Mohan. Apologies for the pronunciations. The first one is, when do you think you'll become a good player? Wow, we got a stand-up comedian here. When will I become a good player? Just move on. I'm not going to answer that question. That's an insult. Your next question is, what is your thoughts on this statement by a sports newspaper? Quote, Lukadinho is an arrogant player and was disliked in his former club and still is in his current club. Not surprised if he gets transferred again. I'm not sure what sports newspaper that has actually wrote. It doesn't really sound like a sports newspaper wrote that. However, everything is true. I wasn't liked in my old club. I'm not liked here. And that's because they can't handle the greatness. His last question is, do you play for the money, the fame, or just because you enjoy football? Well, believe it or not, guys, I don't know if you believe this, but I do actually enjoy football. I do play it for the enjoyment of, playing football. As you've seen before, I could go play whatever sport I wanted to. I'm just that talented, but, football was my choice of sport. And, I play it for the enjoyment, which brings in the fame, which brings in the money. So, that does answer your question pretty well, I think. The next question is from You're So Epic Yo Like a Boss. Sorry for the pronunciations. But his question is, would you rather be in the state NRL team or the NRL teams that represent the cities? I'm going to be honest, I have no fucking idea what you mean by that question. Well, that's the AMA over and done with. There's a lot of similar questions, but I thought may as well just answer them. If I did happen to miss out on any of your questions, I apologize for it. But yeah, I've got to head off. I've got to go to training. I've got to get back to training from MMA fight against Raphael. Stay tuned, guys. It's MrLuke here. I just wanted to close out his video for him because he didn't want to do it. If you did happen to enjoy the video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And make sure you follow me on Twitter if you want to. It's at MrLuke. Facebook page is also in the description below if you prefer that. And I'll see you for the next video. Bye, guys.